Thank you. Okay. I am so pleased with the turnout tonight. It's great. We didn't know what to expect, but this is super great. The first thing I would like to do is just brief you on the minutes of the board meeting. Of course, the board meeting is held the first Monday, and then first Tuesday, not Monday, first Tuesday, and then we have the general meeting the next Thursday. Okay, just run down. I'm not going to read it all. I'm just going to update it. Hi, Bernie. Right now, Jerry reports. Jerry, the vice president, is in charge of the monitors, and he is at a wedding for one of his daughters, so he couldn't attend. But he reported we have 10 to 12 monitors currently, and we are looking for monitors to help. It's not easy to get monitors, and anybody who wants to know about it, just see me or one of the other monitors and they'll tell you about it. The rock show, November 20 to 21 has been fully approved. And that's a great thing for us because that's where we do make a bulk of our money to keep the club going. It'll be in the gym this time, which is the larger of the rooms. And all the contracts has been sent out to the vendors. We've allowed that vendors, we've allowed for 6 booths for vendors from our club. The only stipulation on that is if you're a vendor and taking a booth, you have to help set up and take down because we're always hurting for help. Membership. Lynette is not here. She reported that we had 315 members. 6 of those are junior members. As you can see today, we have a couple of more good possible junior members, and that's great. Yes. Glad to see. We do support youth in our club. It's one of our requirements to be a nonprofit. And those that don't know, we make a nice contribution each year to the high school where we have the show. I think last year it was $3,000 to $5,000. At least $3,000 a year towards scholarships for the young. Right. Hospitality. Where's Vicki at? Where's she hiding? Vicki is our new head of hospitality. She did a wonderful job there for after the meeting to take further. Bernie brought up a lot of classes and things that she'd like to see done. Bernie's our chair for doing, how do I call it, Bernie?
Education.
Education, okay. And Bernie brought up a whole bunch of things and a lot of members who are willing to do things. Everything from stabilizing rocks, how to do scratch tests, decide what your rock are, classes on making a clock. Jerry will do those. Dan on tumbling, probably at your house, right? Okay. Jewelry making, geology classes. There's a lot of things coming on, and Bernie has really stepped up this year, coming up with tons of things, which is so good. Dan, field trips, can you take that over from me?
John mentioned that he's really pleased with the turnout tonight. Those of us that have been here for a few years usually the first 2 rows is all this. Usually it's wall to wall, people standing in the back when everybody starts showing up. So COVID-19 has really kind of did a number on our attendance, but we're pleased with what we have tonight. Before I give my information about field trips, I have a mystery rock. Board members cannot participate in this. They know what this is. This rock is has been. I do a lot of rock tumbling, so this has been tumbled. It is very smooth. It's lightly blue. Don't say anything now. I'm gonna let it just pass it around so everybody can feel it and look at it, and then at the end of my announcement, yeah, just look at it and pass it on. Then I'll tell you what it is. Again, the board members that have seen this. Speaking of rocks, also back on this table with the blue or whatever color tablecloth that is, there's some of us, a few from the club, a couple of months ago went down the other side of Gila Bend, Arizona, to a mine some call it the Rowley mine. I call it the Rowley mine, because I know somebody with that last name. And we got what's called chrysocolla, which looks like turquoise. And thanks to Alan Caberna back there, my good friend, he cut some of the rock in slabs, and you can see what looks like turquoise. It's chrysocolla. Now, I have already sent out an email to all club members. Some of you are new, and you may not have received it yet. Between now and the end of the year, end of December, I announced just 2 days ago there were 11 field trips scheduled. There are now 13 field trips, and that changes almost daily. If you have not received that, please pick up a copy. This will give you an idea of what's coming up. We make the claim that we are the biggest rock club in the state of Arizona. It used to be the Tucson Club, and then recently we passed them up as far as number of members. Also, we make the claim that we're the busiest rock club in the United States as far as field trips is concerned. Prove me wrong. You have to call 10,000 clubs to find out. Most of the clubs here in the state do maybe a dozen field trips per year. Back when we were, the last year we had a fully active year, we were about 45 for the rock hunting field trip season. So we are extremely busy. Sometimes it's almost every Wednesday, every Wednesday, Saturday. There's so much to do. And I know you can't do it all, but just pick the ones you want to go on and come and have a good time. Now, the very next field trip that we're going to have is scheduled for, and you see that table with the red cloth, those two green, you may not be able to read it from where you're sitting. The one on the left says field trip, Saturday, September 18th. Forest Road 198, Cal site. That's Forest Road 198 is just outside of Payson, Arizona. So we're going to get out of the heat a little bit. Actually, it's going to, many of you may have already seen the announcement. It's kind of two activities in one. That weekend is there's a rock club in Payson called the Payson Rimstones. They're having their 23rd annual rock show that weekend, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. And it's held at that casino that as you enter Payson on the right. And some call it Madazel, or Madaz, you know. It's actually an Indian word. I think it's Mazazel, or I don't know the correct pronunciation. But we're going to, just outside of we're going to not only participate in that show, we're going to go and see it. We're also going to go just a few miles away and collect some calcite. Now, Linda Huss, right here, and I have put together many times, especially when you're new in a rock club, you wonder what tools, what equipment do I need when I go rock hunting? If you've got everything that some of us have that have been in the club a long time, you can spend a lot of money. But on just to the right of the right side of that table with the red cloth on it is just some of the stuff that you could take. You might look at it. There's also a little piece of paper, almost the size of a bookmark. Take one. It'll list things that you could take, so you can start building your stuff. Probably if I were going to pick mine, I was thinking about it, Linda, which one, what would I get very first? I'd probably get me a rock pick. That's kind of a hammer pick all in one. And then for me, I thought, what would I get second? Well, over there, there's a little thing called a trash picker-upper, a trash grabber. That's the best thing in the world. I love that thing. I remember before I had it, and I was picking up Apache tears in a place in Superior. In 30 minutes, I was done. I was so tired because there were just Apache tears everywhere. And bending over and getting down on my knees, and when you get older, that's kind of hard. But 30 minutes, I was done. But with that little trash picker grabber thing, man, I could go for a couple hours. So, but there's a lot of good stuff you can take a look at when we break up. Did you want to say anything else, Linda?
No.
I will.
Okay.
I will. Because part of our education, and Dan, here's your book, that I don't remember the name of. Part of our education this year, we're going to actually bring in geology. Oh, I know, it's strange, yeah. But for those of us who are not really, that's not the main focus, they're going to be kind to us. At meetings, we're going to have a brief presentation. And
I'm ready today.
Linda and John have worked together so that knowing where the trips are going to be, say for the next month, they can focus on some of those rocks at the meeting prior to that. So now you've got an idea. What is it? Where did it come from? How's it made? What am I going to do with it? And what does it look like when it's down there? You know, that sort of thing. So I think that's a good association there. Then those of you who are really into this stuff, you know, let us know, because Linda can put together a separate presentation for you folks who are going to enjoy every one of the 47 minutes it takes to talk about. Okay? So, no, thanks.
Yeah.
Thank you, Ron.
I promised that I would. This was actually I pulled the trick on you.
Yeah. Maybe one of these guys want to eat it.
This rock started out looking like that. Serious. Big difference, huh? Lumpy, bumpy, gray on the outside. Then, after this was polished, this is a very soft rock. I'll tell you the name in a minute. It's very soft. There's something called the Mohs, M-O-H-S, Mohs scale. It's a list of things, and if something is, every rock is either a 1 or a 2 or a 3, up to one from between 1 and 10. 10 is really a rock. It's really, really hard, like a diamond is a 10. And then if it's a 1, it's really, really soft, like talc. It's almost like chalk. You write on the chalkboard. It's that soft. You can just break it with your hands. This stuff is about between 3 and 4, so it's pretty soft. Now, literally after one stage of tumbling, it looks like this. You know, same stuff. Now, after rocks that are really soft never will get a bright, shiny, you know, the harder rocks will really look shiny when they're done, when they're polished. But if it's soft, it might be really smooth, but it won't shine. And so that's about as good as you're going to get this rock. And then I took some robin egg blue dye. and I got a little bit of a blue tint to it. This is called howlite. I have heard that the majority of what is being sold as turquoise is really dyed howlite.
There's a piece of it right there.
Right here. And when we break up, you can come and see this.
That's what they call stabilized.
It's stabilized means it's kind of hardened so it won't fall apart. And then they dye it with colors. And you can make a lot of softer rocks look a whole different color than it was originally, or the way it's supposed to be. So that was just an education thing for tonight. But you can look at these later too. All right, this year we're gonna have, we've got 13 field trips already scheduled, and I've got about 15 to 20 more that I'm in the process of scheduling, and some of those are big ones. Stuff that we had scheduled last year, that we actually had contests to see who could go, because when 100 people want to go and you can only take 25, we have a lot of contests in this club to see who gets to go. And some of those that were canceled last year because of COVID-19 will be rescheduled, and you'll be notified, especially those of you who won previously.
Okay, thank you. Always puts on a fabulous presentation. I'm going to go to silversmithing next. The board would love to have silversmithing. However, it's been tabled because we have no one who wants to step up and lead it. And by leading it, I mean, tell us what they need. We need to get someplace to have it because we can't have it in here. We thought about a trailer, which is often, I got information on trailers, but no one has stepped up to do it. Anyone who wants to step up and be the head and form a committee and tell the board what you'd like to see and do, we welcome it. We actually, at a board meeting earlier in the year, authorized at this point up to $10,000 to put to silversmithing, and that has been put into a separate account. So we're not afraid to fund it, we just need volunteers. And volunteering is what keeps this club going. We don't have volunteers, it don't happen. John is not here today, the treasurer. I thought he was coming, but he reported on Tuesday that we have $16,325.34 in our checking account and $50,086 in the savings account. The only thing the club really pays for is water, sewer, because we're a nonprofit, we don't even pay taxes, which is nice, huh? We're still well financed with over $65,000 in money. John reported that we had not exceeded spending this year, and that was tough for me because I want to buy things. We bought, and anybody who hasn't seen them, we bought 6 brand new 14-inch saws. They're out there, and they are running super smooth. Some of the guys who have cut them, comments, they're really nice. We have 3 16-inch saws, which again, cut beautifully. And then we have one older 14-inch, so we actually have 7 14s, and we have a 12, and then we have our 24, 18, whatever out there. So we have plenty of saws now to cover everything. John says we're in the black on everything, and we're doing better than last year, which I hope because that was all favorable. Got a lot of notes here. It was a busy meeting. John did say we need to keep an eye on the increases. It seems like everything from the blades to the oil are going up significantly. And we're talking about maybe needing to increase the saw cuts. What we did settle on was all saws now will be, I think it's 25 cents. No matter what saw it is. The bigger ones are lowered, the upper ones, the smaller ones, a slight increase. But that way, we found a lot of people, even during the summer, and a lot of people who are very experienced, tend to jam a larger rock in a smaller saw because they didn't want to pay the extra nickel. I'm serious. That's, you know, and it's, you know, that's what it is. So they're all the same now. If you got a bigger rock, cut it in a bigger saw. It's not going to cost you any more. Okay. We do have 3 brand new grinders on order. Should be here in October. They'll go on that table over there, where we have the food. So they, as soon as they get in, they're about $495 each, or we're spending about $1,500. Like I said, I'm spending your money. We bought all new lights for around the grinders and all, because I hated, myself personally, I know other people did, trying to keep them in place. So these are doing nice. Okay. That. See that? Okay. I want to bring this up. This is a national newsletter. We get 4 copies a year. We've never done anything with it. We've never sent in an article. We've never sent in anything. Yet it's a national organization that has shows and meetings throughout the year. The next meeting close by for us would be Las Vegas, June 17th and 19th next year. They've got the major meeting is in New Orleans, October 7th through 9th. Anyway, if anyone is interested in picking up and doing communications to the national, we'd be very grateful. It doesn't cost anything, we're already a member. It's just we've never submitted anything. We've never said anything about our club, and you know, we can brag a lot about our club. In fact, we can even ask you, Miss, what size clubs are out there. I have a sense that we might be the largest club in the country when everybody comes back, and we have over 400 members. So that would be nice if someone thought that they might want to take that up. Okay. I'm going to mention elections. Oh, well, I appointed a nominating committee, Sherry Board, Larry Bird, Glenn Reesing, and Bob Blitzman, to also recommend members, elected members for next year. However, anyone in the club can make recommendations and nominate anyone they want to be in the board. And those the board members include secretary, treasurer, vice president, president, and then it would go down to trustees. However, this year we have one extra trustee because we had a tie last year and we let both of them stay. But we only, supposed by our bylaws, have 3. So any nominations by the general membership must be received 1 week prior to the November general meeting, and that's all in the bylaws, if you want to take a look at it. Okay, I have a couple of other comments. I'm not done. We have spent a lot of money and time this year to upgrade the shop since last year. We've purchased and installed the new 6 saws. 3 new 16-inch saws, purchasing 3 new grinders, purchased a new drill press, polishers, new lights. The year-round members spent countless hours upgrading the shop, painting, fixing up, did all new bearings in the grinding polishing machines, put new wheels on some of them. We painted all the cabinets. Yes, thank you, Vicki. And I have to give Vicki credit for the red. She said the white back there didn't do anything for us, so. And she painted it. And she fell. Oh, yeah. She said she had a terrible bruise on her butt, but she wouldn't show him. Anyway, to that end, you know, we closed the shop for 3 weeks to finish LS work. It was a lot to do. To that end, we need to keep the shop clean. And that means all members must clean up after themselves. It shouldn't even need to be said, but we need to clean up. When you're finished with a polisher or grinder, get the water out, wipe it down, make sure it's clean, your water is turned off, ready for the next person who wants to use it. That's just it's almost a common courtesy. If you do have any problems with anything, please bring it to the monitors who can solve it. We can solve it. We can rebuild the machines or we can fix it, whatever. So we still have a 24-inch saw for sale and a 14-inch slab saw. Anybody's interested. We will be selling the wooden tables that we had at the shows last year, and those of us who carried them will know they were. If you know, not only were they heavy, they gave you splinters and they were general pain. So we approved the purchase of 30 new plastic tables for, yes, for the show. The best place we ever found those before were at Sam's Club. So if anybody has a Sam's Club card that we can use to purchase 30 tables, please let me know. I said silversmithing is out. I'm repeating that. We've also set aside money to replace some of the concrete out back. You notice we've got a level portion and then it goes down and it's all cracked. And so we've reserved money for that. So we want to have that done, and we're looking into that now with contractors. It's dangerous out there when you get down to that lower area. And it would be nice to level it all the way back to where the trailer is. A proposal was made by Tom Atkins, one of our trustees. He's not here tonight. He called me just an hour before the meeting and said he had to spend some time with his brother. I gather they were having dinner and whatever. However, his proposal was to buy lockers, the long gym-like lockers or the half lockers, and rent them to club members who wanted to rent lockers. Right now, the lockers back here are used by the trustees, not trustees, but the monitors. They don't hold a lot, and Tom would like to see us buy longer lockers. Yes?
I had a locker up there, had it for 4 years or more, and someone cut the lock off and everything in it was removed. My name was on it.
That's very possible. You had your name on it?
Yeah.
That's very, very possible because the trustees were going through which ones were active and non-active.
I've been active.
Yeah. But have you monitored?
I'm I'm not a monitor, no.
Oh, okay. Only monitors use the locker. But I can talk to you about that. I don't know where it went or why it went, but that's pretty much, the lockers were for the monitors to keep their stuff in.
Was that a recent decision?
No, that's been years. How long? I don't know. Some of the old timers, how much? How long has it been just lockers for monitors?
John, I'm like her. I knew those rock lockers were there, but I didn't know they were for the monitors. So.
Okay. All right. We'll talk about that. I would like to. Okay. Anyway, well, show of hands, how many would be interested if you had a full locker, like a school locker? And we're thinking it might be $50 a year for the locker. How many might be interested in renting or using a locker? Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay.
We can multiply that several times because we have a club members
Yes.
down here.
Right. Well, right now, to move forward on that, Tom wanted to buy, they come in sets of 3s. So he wanted to make sure that we had some interest before he proposed buying them, which will not be until after the show. I've spent enough money, but it's nice to see that 6 want to do it. I probably would buy one myself. Okay, and monitors. We need monitors. Right now, we're only able to open, we're able to open 6 days a week, but we struggle to do any afternoons because we just don't have monitors. We'd like to, yes ma'am?
Well, I can do afternoons.
You can what?
I can do afternoons, and I signed up to be a monitor, but I was told I couldn't do it until I'd been a member for 6 months.
Right. How long have you been a member?
About a week.
Now, we really need to make sure that the people in here, it's not just being a monitor, it's understanding how we run the club. Because the monitor is in charge, and they need to be well versed on everything in the club. Vicki is in her last week of being a monitor. She'll get her key next Saturday. She's had to put up with me. She had to put up with me being her trainer, but she's done a fabulous job and she's ready to do it.
Well, when do you start the training?
We start the training, well, after you're here 6 months and you
Okay,
want to be a
then you
monitor,
start the training.
then we'll start the training.
Okay.
And it's usually at least 4 weeks of working with an experienced monitor to show you. And it's not, being a monitor, there's a lot of things that, it's not just locking the rock down in the saw. It's knowing how to take care of it, knowing how to make sure the oil is clean, making sure that the grinders are well, the water. Monitor comes in at least a half an hour before the shop is open and does a bunch of pre-work to get things ready. Those that go in there, I've seen it.
Do you have a training manual for monitors?
No, we just do it. We don't have
Okay,
a,
so all monitors are trained on the same thing, so every monitor is
every-
trained on how to change the oil and do all that
yes,
in the same way?
yes, we have, it's not all written down, but in the monitors, what their duties are is written down, and that's what we follow. That what they're supposed to do. So we follow what their duties are, coming in the morning, opening up, turning on the glue machines, making sure all the machines are ready, making sure the water and the trim saws is up, in the saw room, checking for any saws that need oil change, filling the water to wash off the soils, putting the soap in it, you know, that kind of stuff. And then running the register and some of the other administrative stuff. A monitor starting out does not need to know every rock. I mean, I'll be the first one to tell you, I don't know many rocks. I'm just, you know, I'm an administrative guy. That's my strength.
Speaking of that, and I'm sorry to interrupt, but I know how to type, and I can help you put that on paper for SOT or the monitor or anybody else that has a duty and needs to know the 1, 2, 3, 4s of it.
Yeah. I'll look into that for you.
Okay, because I mentioned it to Jerry.
Yeah, Jerry. Jerry's in charge of the monitors, so I refer most of that to him. When I assign like Jerry, vice president, to be in charge of the monitors, I let him be in charge of the monitors. I don't get all involved in what he's doing and tell him he's doing right or wrong. He's in charge, end of issue.
Well, I mentioned it to him when he did my
Yeah.
indoctrination.
Yeah.
But he said it was your call.
What, to write it up?
Yeah.
Oh,
Like I can put it
I
on
have-
the website and I
yeah.
can put it on paper.
I have no
I
problem.
just need to know.
When
the
Jerry
information.
comes back, it's quite all right with me. It'll save Linda from doing it. So yes, when Jerry comes back, tell him I said it's okay
Okay.
to write it up,
And
and
then
that will
you
be
can
fine.
just print it, hand it,
Yeah,
and it's like a checklist.
right. Okay. We did the what to take. Cost of rock cuts is 25 cents per inch starting, that's it, starting Saturday. And the general meeting will stay at the same time. Talked about that. Okay. I do want to open it up for comments.
Wait, I have my.
Wait a minute.
Sure.
We have a geological portion of this meeting.
Have what?
A geological portion of this meeting.
Yes.
We have
Yes.
a presentation.
I'm gonna do that. You wanna do that right now?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay.
Go ahead.
You get to record. Whoops.
You want the podium?
Hi, my name's Linda. It is really nice to see everybody back. I'm gonna talk to you really quickly about some selenite. It's a gypsum, and Dan said that he's gonna be doing a future tour to go look for it. So I'm gonna use my notes because I'm not a geology major, but I'm very passionate about rocks. When it's relatively clear, because this is gypsum, but when it's relatively clear, it is called selenite. And maybe you have seen this before, there's a large collection of gypsum sand over in New Mexico you've probably been there. You can see it from space. It's like 200 square miles.
White sand.
Yes.
What's it?
Yep. And then over in Chihuahua, Mexico, there are the selenite caves. This stuff grows in 6 foot tall. It's like kryptonite, Superman's cave, but it's so fascinating. So it forms, what I think is really cool about selenite is it forms by dehydration or evaporation, that's the word. So it's inside of mud banks or sand banks, and when the water evaporates, it forms this selenite. And some of it has the texture of the sand, and some of it doesn't. I have a very cool piece that is from Australia. It's gorgeous. I had to bring it. So it's in America, it's in Mexico, it's in Australia, and Greece. Those are the places that you can find it. It is very soft and it has a Mohs hardness of 2. This one's really cool. This is called satin spar. This is a form of gypsum, and it is fibrous. So like the fiber optic that Dan was saying, there was something that he said you could see, read a newspaper, television glass. So this is fibrous, and it kind of, if you see it up close, and I'll leave these up here for you to look at, it looks like the frosted mini wheat cereal. And then there's also these desert rose. You've probably seen these around. This big guy here, he's really hard. So, but this again is formed when water evaporates. You can also, like this one here, the cleavage on it, you can stick a knife in there and it'll basically pop apart. It is so easy to split.
Is it kind of flaky?
Yes, it is very layered
flake?
and flaky. Mhm.
Okay.
And then this one here looks like a desert rose, but this is actually barite. It's a barite desert rose, not selenite. So y'all are welcome to come look at this. This concludes our portion of selenite education for non-geology major students.
Okay,
Can I make a comment?
surely.
Do you know what they can make with selenite or gypsum? I'll show you. Drywall.
Drywall.
Wallboard.
Yep.
Drywall. That's made out of gypsum. Selenite.
And cast. If plaster of Paris, they make cast for like your foot or your arm.
Okay. Now I'll open it up. There's got to be some comments. Yes, ma'am.
I saw the old grinders sitting out there on a table. Are you going to auction those off?
The what?
The old grinders and polishers?
We'll sell them. I don't think we necessarily had an auction for them.
Okay.
And I'm not dead sure, but I think it was $250 for the grinder and the saw, not the grinder, the saw. The grinders, we're taking the wheels and the motors off of them for replacement parts. Next, David.
All right, everybody turn around. Alan Caverna, raise your hand. Alan and I, almost since the first day I was in this club, several years ago, Alan and I have been buddies. We were old scoutmasters, and we had a lot of things in common. Alan, I've watched him. He is great with a hammer and a chisel. So Alan, before you leave tonight, would you take this piece of howlite and a hammer and a chisel and break it up and give it to these, at least three, how many kids?
Three.
Four. Also, as soon as we break up the meeting, I'm going to turn on our fluorescent rock display. If you've never seen fluorescent rock, you're in for a surprise. So, I'm going to turn that on.
Okay. Other comments? There got to be some comments. Things you want to know? Questions you want to ask me? I don't know if I'll give you a good answer, but I'll give you an answer.
I was disappointed that I missed the Cabochon class, and I check my emails pretty regularly, and I thought I was checking the calendar pretty regularly, but it would be lovely if we could get emails about those classes, because I know there were several members that I spoke to that was like, oh, I didn't know, I would have totally gone on it, so that would be awesome.
That would be great.
There have not been classes for quite a while.
Yeah.
But indeed, the procedure will be to publish it in the news, in the website, and also by email. So you will have that. And I have a lot of folks that I'm calling on who have done classes for me in the past. A lot of folks in the past have said to me, I will do a class. And you've not heard from me yet. But that's it, yet. So you will. And if you've not talked to me because you'd like to do a class of some sort, please let me know. I'll put you on the schedule. Okay? And do keep me informed. If something's not working right, let me know. Thank you.
Yeah, we don't know if it's not working if you don't tell us. It's certainly my aim to get everything working properly. Really want that. You know, the club is for the members. I'm not trying to have $100,000 in the bank. I'm trying to make sure the club looks nice, functions properly, and we can reasonably take care of our members.
I'm just curious, are you leasing the property or do you own it?
Am I what?
We all own
No,
the property.
no. We, fortunately, we own the property, we own the land, we own the building. The only thing we pay is for utilities. So, yes, the property is wholly ours. Some people have suggested making some modifications to the building, adding on. The city of Apache Junction is very, very difficult to work with. Extremely difficult to work with. We tried to expand the cut room under the cover that was there 4 feet. Just put up a wall, take down a wall. We had everything there, lights, electric, floor, ceiling. They shut us down and told us that if we wanted to put that addition on, we would have to have all of the inspectors come into the shop and reevaluate everything we were doing. So we did. They're very, very, and those that live here will tell you that. So we try and stay away from it. As far as if a trailer comes in for silversmithing, that's okay because it's mobile, it's on wheels. Okay? Electric will run a generator. Water,
For sale.
water, we gotta get the trailer first. Water, we don't run a hose over there. You know, there's ways to do it without being a major thing.
What do you need for silversmithing?
What do
Besides
we-
somebody.
what do we
to
need?
Instruct.
We need
Equipment.
we need someone who knows it, can instruct it, can put equipment. I don't know. Torches. That's why we're looking for
I'm
someone.
looking at donating a smelter.
Any donations are gratefully received. However, I don't know what's needed, what's wanted, what's good, what's bad. I have no idea. I've
Well, I
never.
don't either, and I'd like to learn.
Yeah, well,
So,
we would like a
but
lot of
that's kind of
people.
a critical piece.
When I became president, I put out a list of what people wanted to do or wanted from the club. The bathroom extension, or those who were here before, know what it looked like. It was half the size of what it is now. Please don't. But we made it ADA qualified, and did it. But that was, of all the things that was wanted to be done in the shop, the bathroom or toilet room was number 1, and it beat number 2 and number 3 combined. So, we did it. Other things, you know, were lights, you know, updating the machinery and all that stuff. And we've accomplished almost all of that, which is nice. We have other comments. Come on. It's only for the good of the club. If you got a question, what can I tell you? I'll answer as honestly as I can. No? Yes? How about new chairs? I have in my notes to the board, after the show, to order 30 new seats with padding. These are just old, and yes, we need new seats, need new chairs, and we will get them after the show. We just don't have. I don't want to spend any more money, any other big money right now until after the show. We know what we have. You know, the show usually brings in $10,000 to $12,000 to the club. And when that comes in, then we can spend a little bit of that money to buy some chairs. Yes?
What do you sell? People bring rocks and donate them, you have
Yeah.
cuts that you just take, what is your show?
The show is, it's almost a metered show where the vendors pay for a table by the foot, depends on how many feet they want. We charge an admission to come in for everybody except members. If you're a member and you have your badge, you get in for free and go around the club, around the show. We will have about 60 different vendors at the show, according to Tom. So there'll be a good variety of what's happening. We sell rocks from our collection. We have probably about 5 tons of rock to sell. And I will say that as a member, you can buy that rock anytime. Because, you know, if we're selling at the show, why not sell it to a member? That's my theory. You know, I'm not so much waiting for a show. We have, how much you have stuck in the trailer back there? A ton? No. What's that? Yeah, you moved it. So that's a lot of that stuff will go to the show. We used to put a lot of it out in kind of a silent auction. That's not being held right now because again, we don't have a volunteer unless someone wants to re-volunteer to do it.
You have to be here 6 months to volunteer to do that?
Yes.
So everything is 6 months be
Well,
here.
yeah,
and train
basically
here.
6 months because that way you get to know the shop and what's happening. You know, much sooner than that, you're really just starting to learn what we do and why we do it. Okay? The silent auction always brought us in some money, not a lot, not tons, but money. We also have generally a 50-50 that we do, which will start probably next month. And we auction off. We have a lot of stuff that was donated to us from the vendors at this last show we had. And that will be put up for, we'll have tickets. It's a 50-50. Your number comes up, you can pick what you want out of the group of things we have. I will say in the December meeting, we have earrings and bracelets made out of Tagarai that is absolutely gorgeous. I mean, it is beyond pretty. And that is right now in the safe waiting to go out. It was donated by a member, or members, to be auctioned off. Okay, back there first.
Yeah, you mentioned vendors, so do you have outside vendors come into the
Oh,
show
yes.
as well? And
Oh,
what
yes.
kind of things do they vend? All still specimens or?
They have everything you could possibly imagine, all kinds of jewelry.
And do you limit that? Are those spaces full already or?
No, they're not full already. We're allowing 6 tables to members. So we've got 3 of them taken already. So if you're interested, see me and I'll put you in contact with Tom and sign you up if you have some. But this is a very, very high-class show. There's no junk whatsoever at this show. It is all, it's,
There's vendors that come from, nothing but straight over. People come in there, it's all brand new equipment. There's people come in there, there's nothing but problems. I mean, there's nothing in any of those vendors. They are very well set up. And some of them come in motorhomes, and some of them come in with like a big van with a big trailer behind it, and it's full. You know, it takes them 4 or 5 hours to get all this stuff. Tucson's not right where we are, but if you go to like, you know, any of the larger shows, you know, you get vendors that are, I mean, they sell anything, but it's all high-end stuff. It is not garbage, it is some high-end fossils. And there's some kid stuff too. We got people cutting geodes this year.
Yes, I think so. They did real well last year, or last time, not last year.
But it's, you know, there's no second-hand yard stuff like that back there. Yeah, no one's getting rid of anything. Some of the old stuff was falling.
It's, I will say it's almost like a juried show. I mean, Tom doesn't let anybody in who doesn't have quality stuff. And of course, they pay for it, and we make money. Members can participate. The only thing with a member is you can have a table, but you must participate in helping us set up and tear down. That's,
You also need a state license.
and yes, you need a state license too.
They have some stuff for the kids too.
Oh, yeah. We have a big kids area. We give the kids away at least 12 different stones. We've talked about maybe even letting them pick the 12 stones that they want in a egg crate. And after that, maybe it's 10 cents a rock. But they get 12 free. We have a spinner board where they spin it. Adam usually is the one that does that. And he's funny because if he knows one of the kids wants something special, somehow it stops right on that thing. And Ming trees, we've got a sample of a Ming tree in there. You make your own Ming trees, we supply the stuff. There's a small fee for doing it, I think, but all the stuff is provided to you. Okay?
Volunteer sheets, normally they're up right now, or when will you have those ready for?
They'll probably come out in October. And we'll, like normal, we'll have them posted up here on the wall. We'll also have them up for security at night. We need to have 2 security guards that stay overnight. Just the vendors like the fact that we have security at night. Even though the schoolyard's locked down, the building's locked down, they want to know that there's someone in there watching. Years ago, we used to hire a kind of posse type people, and they came in and did it. It cost us $600 a night, and now we have volunteers that cost us nothing. So, okay. Questions still as we think about it? Anybody want to know anything, do anything? If not, I'll take a motion to adjourn.
Move this meeting be adjourned.
Move that it's adjourned. Second? Motion made and seconded. We were adjourned at 3:31 or 3:30. Everybody, we have stacks back there. And those of you who are not members who want a tour of the shop or the area, I'm ready to do that.
How rough the train is, like as far as walking.
Usually when we send out an announcement.
Everything that a silversmith does. It's a lot. I know, it's a lot. And so when he said, and I looked up goldsmithing too. Silversmithing, I'm like, well, what do you want to learn? Like, what do you want? Because there's so much.
I want you to see.
I mean, I like
color
prospecting. I love watching Aussie gold.
these things are right now.
That's what I like.
And you're going to see what color they turn when they turn these special lights on.
I love these.
Do me a favor. See these rocks that are down here? Can you pick them out and put them up here for me?
That's what it's about. That's pretty.
Can we help get those out of here?
Yeah, everything. It's all so silversmith. It starts like this. That's sterling sheet.
Yeah.
And so everything is hand sawed and soldered.
That is so cool.
I can see some of the glow green.
That is awesome.
So Hannah's got it.
What did I not say?
The outings, you see the fluorescent rock.
What does there?
Don't look at that
We had
light.
our dark light.
Oh, it's like green.
Oh, how cool.
That is amazing.
Oh, we want to take a picture of
The
that.
painting is orange.
Oh, wow.
That's it. Whoa.